So Elaine Jarvis is right there, sanctioned because she sued the private jail for Mustafa.
Yeah, she's in the phone.
So basically any lawyer that stands up against corruption, any lawyer that is willing to stand against a jail,
We just want the justice for Mustafa.
this is what they do to lawyers.
That's all we ask. We don't ask for no favors. We want justice.
That's what they do to
Mustafa.
lawyers
We had the
that
evidence.
stand up against
We had
corruption.
the body cameras of the police officer showing the truth.
And you know it's a shame.
In other
Prince
place,
William.
the Commonwealth.
Prince William could do better, needs to be better. This is so wide open corruption. We just had another case in there that the girl was also put in there without due process, without anything. So the lawyer just ripped the Commonwealth apart on this young lady's case, and she gets to come out today. She's been ignored for almost 2 years also, so today she gets to come out.
2 years. 2 years without a trial.
Yes, yes.
And when you find a lawyer that's willing to file a civil lawsuit against the jail, this is what they do to your lawyer. I mean, your lawyers come out crying. They come out in tears, left in an ambulance, getting ready to lose her license. All because she sued that building right there. 9320 Lee Avenue, Manassas, Virginia, Prince William County Adult Detention Center. If you sue this jail, this is your fate. This is what they do to you. I mean, Elaine Jarvis is suing Amar, Mustafa's brother. She's suing me actually in Stafford.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, they take your lawyer and they turn her against you, and at the same time they're still prosecuting her. Yeah, I mean, look, you know, when you think about when you think about what did Elaine Jarvis do to receive such harsh treatment? What did she do? Number one, when she got the jail video of Mustafa getting carried naked, unconscious by six guards, she released it to the public. Okay, she made podcast videos talking about his abuse, his violation of due process, how he's been held for 2 years without trial, and he's never waived his right to a speedy trial. Okay, Mustafa's essentially been sitting here without due process. I mean, he's sitting in a cell. Imagine this: you're sitting in a cell, you're sitting in a box. Okay, without due process, without the law, you're kidnapped. Essentially, they've kidnapped you and put you on the ground, and you have no voice. I mean, even when you have a hearing on the docket, on the record, you're not allowed to be in the courtroom to hear what's going on in your case. I mean, you know, we talk about other countries, you know, dictatorships, where if you say something that's not politically correct with the leadership of that country, they'll send their secret police to take you and throw you on the ground somewhere.
Right.
You have no lawyer, you have no voice, you have no rights. And essentially here, that's what's happened. They've taken Mustafa, put him in a underground somewhere, in a bunker, in a room.
Yep.
And he's not, and they, not only that, but they're mistreating him. You know, that's like, we can say all day that we're gonna wait till he's vindicated. We can say that he's a strong man, he can handle it. He'll wait for his day in court. Today was a day in court,
And it was not given.
and he's not being allowed into the courtroom. So how can we confidently say that he's gonna get his day in court when it's time for court? His family's not allowed to be in the courtroom. Okay, and his lawyer comes out crying. His lawyer's about to have a heart attack because she's being attacked by the Commonwealth attorney, and her crime is talking about the injustice that he's facing.
Sir, right.
Okay, I mean, Elaine at some point said, we're not scared of anybody because we have the law on our side. We're Americans, and that's what Americans do. They stand up for their rights, and if you don't fight for them, you lose them. So, you know, I think Amy Ashworth has probably prosecuted so many people that have just stayed silent, whether they didn't have proper documentation, proper papers. They've done that to so many people that now they think it's okay to do it with U.S. citizens.
Yes, they're very comfortable They're very comfortable.
Yeah. And they've
taking
got this,
people down unjustly.
and it looks like they've got this process down so well to now where they have the judge in on it, they have their lawyers in on this process, and everybody covers up for each other. I mean, you look at, all you have to do is look at how many donations Amy Ashworth received and who those donations came from. How many lawyers donated to Amy Ashworth, who are, by the way, those lawyers are Republicans that are donating to her. They're Republican, okay? But she's a Democrat, and they're still willing to put money on her account. Even though she's a Democrat, they're Republican, they're paying for this is corruption. They're buying the Commonwealth attorney. That's what they're doing.
Turning a blind eye. Here's your money.
Exactly.
Here's your money. Let me do what I want.
You know, whether Democrat, Republican, at the end of the day in Prince William County, money buys you assaulting a woman and getting away with it, like Casey Stevens. I mean, Casey Stevens, you know, if you look up his donations, he's donated to Republicans every time, okay? But he donated $4,700 to Amy Ashworth while being Mustafa's lawyer, okay? You have a lawyer, but we're telling this is corruption, and then you're gonna pay the person bringing this case to court. You're gonna, Casey Stevens is gonna pay that money to Amy Ashworth. He collected $50,000 from Mustafa and paid almost $5,000 to the Commonwealth attorney. Okay, and then he concealed all the evidence. He concealed all the lies. You know, he was telling us, he says, can you send me he said, do you have pictures of the children and their names? I'm trying to find out what child is what. Do you have pictures of any witnesses? And we find out on body cam, all that information is available to him. He has it. You know, he was playing this game like he was playing dumb, like he didn't know who or what.
Right.
But, you know, I mean, now we're looking at what he had this entire time. And it's shocking. I mean, the amount of information he had to dismiss this case from the very first week. The very first week. All he had to do was look at the warrants and file a motion to say this warrant is falsified, and I have the body cams.
I'm just shocked that after the chief of police acknowledged and published letters saying the officer drove falsified police documents, how is the public supposed to take their word for anything right after that? Period.
You're absolutely
How do
right.
you trust them anymore?
How do you trust the police after they issue a letter and they don't investigate further and dig deeper into this officer lying? I mean, are the officers lying? You know, I was looking at this video from the Florida, I don't know if you've heard of him, the Florida sheriff.
Yes.
Polk
Sheriff
County.
Judd.
Sheriff Judd.
Yes.
He's so famous for following the rule of law, okay?
Yes.
I was watching a video where he arrested 3 of his deputies for lying, okay? And he doesn't take BS from nobody, okay? And when he arrested those 3 deputies, he actually went back and he said, we have to open up every case these deputies are involved in. Because if they're willing to lie one time, then they can do it. Okay? I mean, that's a real sheriff. Okay? A sheriff that is that's concerned about how the community perceives the police, the trust and, you know, the relationship that the community has with the police. But in this case, you have Amy Ashworth, who controls the sheriff, who controls the police department. Okay, I mean, we brought, you know, I understand that prosecutors say we don't watch every body cam, we just go off reports.
Right.
But in this case, you have so many people here drawing so much attention and telling you that these reports are falsified, and you have an obligation to go into this case and look at every single body cam. You have an obligation. I know you don't do it for every case, but in this case, you have an obligation to go into every single body cam, okay, and find out that every body cam has been falsified. Every report does not match any of the body cams. You have police department, police officers, investigators who abuse these children. They've abused these children only to get something negative about Mustafa, only to get them to say something negative.